Cheers, y'all. It's different. Another one of my clarified cocktails. Tastes boozier than a lot of them do. It's nice though. Yes, I missed one whole live stream compared to what I'd been doing. Then I couldn't resist coming back. Hey, Ricky Bobby, and hey, Dr. Abigail, if you're still there. It's an exciting time. Morning for you, Ricky Bobby. You're in the US then, by guess? It being 8 in the PM for myself. Kicking off, Thursday night. As I like saying, Thursday night, almost Friday, practically the weekend. Whoosh, yeehaw, can go wild, go crazy. Just things happening. Canada, West Coast. Okay. Hello to you in Canada, Ricky Bobby. Thank you for dropping in and saying hello. It's like, wow, have I forgotten how to do live streams? Probably not. Probably not. It's only been since Sunday. So, yes, as anyone who was on the stream on Sunday remember, I'm basically planning to do significantly fewer live streams. Might soon cut them down to 1 or 2 a week. Like definitely Friday night if I'm not out. And I have no social life, so I am never out. So, probably always on Friday nights. Dr. Abigail doing supervision, looking after the youngling at Nettie's place. Oh, yes, I think I did see Nettie post that she was leaving on a jet plane as well. Hey, Gift Pest Slayer, your birthday was yesterday. Happy belated birthday. Roll it into your 20s now. Well, enjoy that. I hope you have a fun 20s. I think most people who are going to have a wild time anytime in their life have a pretty wild 20s. It's like, yeah, I'm an adult. I make my own decisions. Also, I'm still young and irresponsible. And I recover quickly from things, whether those things be injuries or hangovers. I try to avoid both because of the difficulty in recovering from. So I tried to explain to someone recently, they were very young, and I said, well, you break a bone, you'll basically be fine in 6 weeks. I break a bone, I'll be fucked for 6 months. Ricky Bobby, you concur? 20s, wild, crazy time? Yeah. Not that you have to limit it to your 20s. I know people who have out-of-control teen years. I was actually pretty boring as a teenager. I had a pretty good time in my 30s too. I mean, I'm still having a good time. Age, it's just a number, and the bigger the number is, the more it means something. Yeah, as in, if I do anything much that involves a lot of physical activity, my legs will make me feel it for quite some time. Aside from the jokes of, I get pissed because, I've got my booze collection and I like to make cocktails on live streams. I rarely get drunk enough to have a hangover. in the classic sense. Usually the worst I get is feeling slightly off, slightly upset tummy, and I am maybe tired the next day. Dr. Abigail, you were a super boring teenager, slightly less boring in the 20s. I'm not saying I wasn't boring in my 20s. I got up to more stuff in my 20s, though. Yeah, Sydney in the 90s. Raves. That was a bit of a... I am liking this more the more I have it, actually. I thought it was tasting boozier than a lot of my clarified drinks do. But it's good. It's a split of whiskey, rum, and brandy mixed with orange juice and pineapple juice, and then clarified with milk. It's weird. I don't know how well the webcam's even going to pick this up, but inexplicably, this is cloudy compared to my average one. And it wasn't at first. It was very clear at first. So, some of the oils, fats came out of... It's supposed to be out of the milk. I don't think it's going to be out of anything else. Sometimes you have a spirit that actually does have an oil content. And when the temperature changes, like the oil can come out of solution. Gift Pest Slayer, buying some new games on Steam. I did hear there was a Steam sale on... What's the one Young Ms. Angry was telling me I might like? Cult of the Lamb? I think the basic thing is... You're a lamb that someone wanted to sacrifice, like, some eldritch powers wanted to sacrifice, and another one saves you and sicks you onto all the others. So, yeah, you literally start a cult and maintain a cult. So, I don't know, maybe I want to start a cult and be a lamb. I'm still playing Borderlands 3 at the moment on the super easy setting, so I never die, and I've got hugely overpowered weapons. Musical Aviator applied to participate Stonington Symphony, playing trumpet Saturday, Morven Town Hall. Programs Mozart, Schubert symphonies, $10 ticket. If you're into your classical, there you go. Saturday, September 10, Morven Town Hall, $10 tickets. Mozart and Schubert, nice. Oh yeah, Ricky Bobby, I have a soft spot for the Borderlands games. They're so silly. They're so much fun. And it's one of the shooter games where I like sniping. Some of them, the mechanics of sniping, it's real fucking hard to actually hit anyone. Borderlands is one of the games where I'm so keen to get a high-powered sniper rifle for my character, because then I just pick them off. Oh, nice, Dr. Abigail. You want to go and perform? I could see that, yeah. It's a whole thing. Well, Musical Aviator, I hope it goes very well for you. The Mozart and Schubert night at Malvern Town Hall. When's that? September 10th. So that's is that 3 weeks? Two weeks from Saturday. I had to look up a calendar because I'm not smart. I couldn't do it in my head. I, for some reason, thought that might have been 3 weeks away. It's 2 weeks away. Oh, well. But, yeah, it's good to have something like that going on. Hey, Justin, how you doing? I am. See, I've got my orange thing in there. Steve the bartender said you should use one of these, which is a cheese slicer to peel thing. And I did it too hard, and I actually gouged a hole in my orange. I need to practice a bit doing a peel with this. I mean, I could even do one now, give myself a second garnish. So do this, but not too hard. Is that a bit better? I think I don't know. Not sure this is the right thing to do it with. Justin, you woke up thinking it was tomorrow morning, but it isn't. Music over. 1 day for rehearsal, so if you all get COVID, you won't know till it's over. Dang. Give Pesley, I think you're buying Doom Classic, Doom 2, Doom 64. So emulations of all the old Doom and Quake games. Neat. I did see someone had done a version of Doom Classic with what they call voxels, which are basically 3D pixels. So it's still got that pixely vibe of the original, but it's got more depth. The sprites are actually 3D rather than 2D. Look, I saw some video of it. Looked interesting. But again, modders and emulators, I think, very clever people doing lots of wacky stuff. I'm scraping the pith. I'm taking the pith from this because that tends to be a bit bitter. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Orange spritz. Nice. Safa, did you feel Tuesday night was strange because I wasn't here? I was just playing Borderlands 3, actually, on Tuesday night. I was just doing some... My original plan was to do something productive, like some video stuff. I formulated a plan for the first pre-recorded video for this channel in almost 2 years, which I will do, maybe this weekend. And hiya, Heine. But I didn't do anything particularly productive on Tuesday night. I mean, I think it was good for me to have this wind down and play the thing. Oh, Gift Pesley, you're going the whole way. Heretic and Hexen. That's all the classics. I did see that too, Safa, putting Doom on a John Deere display unit. It's a running joke of things you can run Doom on. Apparently, some of those scientific calculators can actually run it. Was it like you had a whole game on a fucking floppy disk? One floppy disk. Astonishing stuff. All right. Got to decide what I'm going to have for a drink. All right. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to do a taste comparison. I think I want to make an old-fashioned. And a taste comparison. Megaleech, I did miss you. I missed everyone. I'm also crediting you. I've scripted but haven't shot a video for Mai Tai. No, actually, it's not Mai Tai. It's the B one. A rose by any name would be as sweet. I've credited you with that name in the script. I haven't shot it yet. Probably shoot it tomorrow. Put it up on Saturday. All right, so I'm going to get some shot glasses, and I'm going to do a taste comparison of some of my whiskeys. Whoa, that was bad. Right. 4 of my whiskeys, and I'm going to decide, and I'm going to retaste my most expensive whiskey and my most recent whiskey. Most expensive whiskey. Where's the good whiskey? Good whiskey. I probably should. Oh, Starwood Solera. I'll do Starwood Solera as well. All right. Whiskey tasting, whiskey tasting. Where is my Starwood Solera? There it is. No, that's Tawny number 2. Well, that's what I'm tasting then. Look at it. All right. Megaleech gonna watch from the start. Man, shouldn't take you long to catch up and speed it up. Nice gift, Pest Slayer. Your dad gave you $100 gift voucher, and the games are on sale. Pretty good. All right. So, 4 Australian whiskies. The Grove from Western Australia. Corn Mash whiskey, where they follow the rules for making bourbon, apart from not being in the United States. So they can't call it bourbon, but it's followed all the rules of making bourbon. My most expensive whiskey. I forget how much I pay for it, but it is the most expensive I have. Bakery Hill, an Australian one. They're from Victoria. This is from a limit. Only 264 bottles of this exist. And I'm just drinking it. All right. And from Archie Rose in Sydney, they're good whiskey. An unintentional blend of single malt and rye. And another one from Melbourne, Starwood, 20 number 2. Aged in tawny, aka port barrels. Right. All right. Whiskey time. This one's a lighter colour. Sharper smell. It's got a sort of grassier smell to it. No, see, Musical Aviator. Pork barrels is the Liberal Party. Port barrels is whiskey makers. Gift Pest Slayer, that's going to depend on your interpretations, I think, about heaven and hell. Internet has been randomly shit. My internet's been randomly shit. Oh, nice. Suffer. Terminator 2 Blu-ray. That's my favorite Terminator movie. Again, I think you're coming up with interesting definitions there, Gift Slayer. And I guess good. Okay, what I will say with the angels, biblical angels, good's going to depend on who you are, because they were pretty fucking merciless to enemies of God. Anyway, so I'm going to try the Corn Mash whiskey. I need some water to cleanse my palate between tastings. Sorry, I've got to get another glass so I can have some water. Oh, because I'm like a professional taster. Not. What does that taste like? Honey, cinnamon, caramel? Those are really obvious tasting notes. I'm not good at this whole tasting thing. Oh, it's an Ultra Blu-ray, not Blu-ray. There you go. Oh, Justin actually remote working stopped because of shitty internet. Or were you at an office and it was shitty internet? That'd be pretty dramatic. Right, so. It's actually pretty good. Oh, no. Dr. Abigail, that's hardly fair. Your birthday came and went. You still don't own the extended edition of Lord of the Rings on 4K Blu-ray. I haven't watched them in a little while. I have the DVD, not Blu-ray. But last time I watched them, I thought, man, these effects really hold up. If we say trans female Twitch streamer named Keffel's being not in any detail. I feel like I heard a little bit about that, but so much fucked up shit happens on the internet. It's very hard to keep up with. Right, so this is the Bakery Hill, my most expensive whiskey. Whew, bit proofy, this one. What's this? 50, okay, 58% alcohol. So basically, it's almost 50% more alcohol than your average whiskey. It's like this corn mash one was, where is it? 40%, which is the standard. So this one's almost 50% more whiskey, 50% higher alcohol by volume. You've got to be careful not to breathe in at the wrong time. Well, it's almost like golden syrup. Ooh, the aftertaste on that is really nice. Very hot, as it were, high proof alcohol. Oh. Oof. That's right. Okay, now, Archie Rose's good whiskey. This is over 40%, 46%. So halfway, less than halfway between the two. But look, unsurprisingly, easier to drink than the 58%. Ooh, very late smoke on the palate of the Archie Rose one. It's not up front, it's just very late. Tastes smoky in a pleasant way. Gift Pesley, you're going zombie on the turfs? Nice. I feel like their brains aren't very nutritional, though. It's almost like, oh, well, God, it's all, the smokiness is almost making me think of bacon. Like when you get not candied bacon, but the way some bacon's cured is a little bit sweet. The whiskey's quite sweet. The smokiness really reminds me of bacon. Here you go. And finally, Starward Tawny. It's really sweet. It's probably the sweetest of the four, actually. Man, that is pretty good. Maybe the Bakery Hill's growing on me because I was slightly disappointed because it is my most expensive whiskey, that it wasn't instantly my favorite. You know, hoping expensive means good. It's obviously going to vary different people's palates. I feel like it's growing on me. Haven't been getting recommended dose of healthy proteins, fats. I think their brains would be very fatty, so you would get that. Possibly quite smooth, their brains too. Oh, honey is still doing a coding, which is nice. I love it, dude. I love the fact that you're doing this coding, exploring maths. Just stretching your brain with something practical is good. Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm not an expert gift-based slayer. I thought human brains were pretty fatty. Some more than others, eh? All right, so I'm going to make an old-fashioned to decide what syrup I'm going to use. And bitters. Heine, it's great that you're having fun just doing the brain exercise and working shit out. I think it's really good. It's a good thing to be doing. All right. Which syrup? I have several syrups in here. Cherry syrup. I think I want a more neutral syrup. Well, apple syrup. Kind of, went to town a bit. Made so many syrups recently. Right, I'm going to do it with Bakery Hill. See if I might do orange bitters. I might actually do a split of orange. Angostura is just there. I'm going to do a split of orange bitters and Angostura bitters. Got a Burnham song stuck in my head. But to push your fucking hands off. All eyes on me, all eyes on me. Right, some Angostura bitters. And now we stir our cocktail. To chill it and dilute it. Especially because it's such a high proof whiskey. Who was watching me? I didn't put it. Okay. I didn't put any syrup in that, did I? Did I? Did I not? Who was watching me? Brain no worky. That's not good. I'm a young man. I shouldn't be in this advanced state of senility yet. Oh dear. Give Chris Slayer. No stranger to Indiana Jones. Oh, Star Trek Hannibal. Well, role models. I mean, Megaleech is going to watch back for me. Did I or did I not put syrup in that? I don't think I did. I got the syrup out. Okay, so he's watching it back. I got the syrup out. But this happens sometimes. I have this feeling I didn't. I don't want to over sweeten it though. Wait for the word from Megaleech. Didn't put it in. Okay, I didn't think I did. All right. A little bit of syrup, not a lot. Justin, I did see that announcing the terms of Royal Commission to Robot It. Oh my god! And isn't Dutton such a supreme fuckwit? There was a opinion, opinion polls are borderline worthless, but the things like with approval ratings, and Albanese's got 55%, and Dutton's got 17%. Fucking hilarious the way that guy was apparently unaware that he was electoral poison. Fucking, and I mean, the Royal Commission is a robot. It had to happen. It was a fucking criminal enterprise. And just go, oh, it's a witch hunt. Like, fuck you, you fucking piece of shit. Ooh. What's all that about? Try another sip of this. That's not bad. I don't think that's the best cocktail for that drink, though. What would be? Maybe a Manhattan? Oh, shit, Justin. Economic chaos in China. I saw this video and it was so fucking weird. It made me feel like it wasn't real. I'm working on the assumption it is real. Because of like economic chaos in China, these construction companies were demolishing all these, I think they were unfinished buildings, like apartment buildings and whatnot. And apparently, just like widespread in China, because I know they can't finish these buildings or they're never going to be occupied or something. And they're demolishing these almost finished or completely finished apartment buildings. And the video of just all these buildings collapsing was fucking serious. And also, a couple of them made it look like the people doing the demolition aren't very good at it and don't know how to implode buildings. Because when you see those really professional implosion things where a big structure just sort of goes and collapses in on itself, and I mean a big cloud goes out because of the amount of stuff. But a couple of these things like tall apartment buildings, like they blew out one bit of it, and the whole building just falls sideways, which is not the way to do it. But Jesus, it's really hard to know what the fuck is going on when it's a state-controlled economy like China. Jesus, it's hard to know what's really happening in fucking corporate-controlled economies as well, of course. So, Dr. Abigail, ghost buildings in China for years, entire suburbs of high-rise empty. Some are low standard, unavailable, and unlivable and finished. Well, they have had incidents of apartment buildings collapsing. Some are built and people weren't moving in. Yeah, well, apparently those ones they're demolishing, and it was trippy as fuck. It's really wild. Is that Heine? Looked at Scilab documentation. Don't have ways to define a number, real or integer. Oh, there you go. Math and computer science combining. It's wild. I've been continuing to watch a bunch of videos on YouTube about physics and philosophy and the crossover between the two. The Sabine Hofstadter, I'm not sure how to pronounce her name, her videos are very intriguing because she's a physicist. Hellion, hello, Kirsten. Gift pants like you want to open a bigot's mind with trepanning. That's a rather literal. You thought it was Friday till after 11 a.m. today. Oh, God, that could have been very distressing coming to the realization around lunchtime. Yeah, no, that's what I thought. Not fun. Yes, Justin, that sounds like a definition of a Ponzi scheme. Paying off old investors with new investors. That's basically how Ponzi schemes work. Ooh, suffocating some chocolate. Nice. So, Kirsten, you missed. I was just decided I was going to do a quick taste comparison of only some of my whiskies, 4 of them, out of about, how many? About 20? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Got about 20 whiskies. I don't know. I haven't counted. And then I made an old fashioned. So I've got my newest whiskey, the Grove Corn Mash. My most expensive whiskey, Bakery Hill. Archiro's Good Whiskey, which I think I got a new tasting note. It's almost like a bacony flavor, smoked ham, bacon, which is like good, and then Starward 20. And so I've made an old fashioned out of a Bakery Hill. Ah, yes. Oof. So, Kirsten, it's available next Tuesday, if I understand my emails correctly. Maiden Eye Nocturne whiskey. And I actually have Maiden Eye Nocturne. I'm definitely getting some. I know you said it's probably going to be a little bit pricey. Fuck it. I'm doing it. Justin, that Ponzi schemes, that's pretty widespread. It may well be what's happening in China. It is very common in the Western world too. So to give us you want to increase the maximum limit live stream chat, having to split a long message. I get what you mean, but it's always a balancing act, because if there was no limit, there'd be the risk of trolls just doing super long things and fucking up the chat. Also, Kirsten, because I've reorganized my drink storage, I have room for another whiskey there now. Also, what do I got in the barrels at the moment? Oh, that reminds me of what I wanted to ask you, Kirsten. Oh, there you go. Fuck it, I'm getting it. As you say, if you're telling me that's the best yet, I'm fucking getting it. Yes, Abigail, I never get trolls. It doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. So, Kirsten, so remember something I wanted to ask you about whether you think this would work or be worthwhile. So, yeah, I've got my 3 barrels. They've all got something in them at the moment, but they will all be coming out probably in the next week. So, I've got my Death and Taxes cocktail, which I think will definitely come out this weekend. My banana rum liqueur, which will probably come out this weekend too, and the an old fashioned, which is like a 5 whiskey blend old fashioned. I also got quite creative with the sweeteners in that one. I used a few liqueurs as well as sugar syrups to sweeten it. And that's probably going to come, if not this weekend, in another week. But what I was thinking is I have some moonshine. I have some new make spirit from 2 different sources. I was thinking, because I've been leaving stuff in there anywhere from 3 weeks to 2-3 months. But I was thinking, I've got new make spirit. Why don't I really go to town and like with one of the barrels, because I've got 3 and I'm kind of running out of things to do with them. But actually, do a full maturation process. Leave the new make spirit in there for a year or 2 years. I mean, that would be like an epic long project. Actually, aging it till it would qualify as whiskey. Whether 1 year, 2 year, 3 years. Does that sound like something interesting, or does that sound like a dumb idea? I'm saying. Yes, Gift Best Layer. Maybe at 3:35 a.m. you should go to sleep. I'm saying. And I love this, Kirsten. This is why I love having insiders in whiskey world. When you tell when the staff go for something, that's a good sign. But I see now. Okay, actually, I was thinking because I haven't really worked out the best way. I haven't really worked out the best way to have Bakery Hill. Maybe in a Manhattan, maybe with Nocturne. Okay, Kirsten, I get what you're saying there. Small barrel might be over oaked, but those barrels, like, I've had them for a while now, and they've had a bunch of different stuff in them to flavor them, and I'm not sure the oak can have that big a thing. Dr. Angel wants to taste a 2 to 3 year old angry. Well, it would just be whiskey or aged new make spirit. I suppose, Kirsten, what I could do is do a little taste once a month or something, and think like, okay, this month and this is getting good, and just do a little taste, and then I get to 1 month and wait, that doesn't taste as good as the previous month. Yes, if I left it for 2 years, it might be very bad. Maybe I should just aim, I don't know, for 6 months. And hi, David, on Facebook. How are you doing? Maybe, look, I think that's what I'm going to do, though. Put my moonshine, my new make spirit. Oh, God, I don't know if you can hear that knocking noise. Mimsy's decided I didn't leave the sliding door open wide enough for her to just come in. And she's acting like she wants to come in, but she's also wandered off. Nope, she's still there. Do you want me to open the door, Mimsy? Or are you just going to bang on it for a while? I find the noise really distracting. I'm going to open it so she can come in if she wants to. And she can say hello. There you go. little bit open. She can come in if she wants to, without making a distracting noise. All right. See, this is why I'm asking you, Kirsten, with your superior knowledge of these things. Look, so what I might do, because I'm going to put moonshine in the barrel, and I'll just taste it. I know I left one You Make Spirit in for, I don't remember if it was a month or two, and it was nicer when it came out. Oh, Jesus, the rum one, the like the 76% alcohol rum was actually much better, actually relatively easy to drink after being in there for a month or two. Yeah, so regular tastings. So by regular, it's like would once a month be enough? Because that's what I was thinking. Because I've done it once where I left it for, I don't know, 2 or 3 months, and that was good. So I was thinking of doing it longer than that. I may even taste each of the barrels tonight when I finish this, just to see who they're. Maybe I'll save that for tomorrow night. Who knows? Who knows? Just keeping it all kind of loosey goosey. That's what we're doing, and being loosey goosey. Okay. Random fact: like when I haven't been doing streams, besides playing Borderlands 3, I've been watching stuff on TV. Watching some stuff with Mrs. Angry, and started watching a series on Prime called The Outlaws, which centers on a disparate group. It's English. It's based in England. It's an English show. This group who are on probation for various reasons. Series like created by starring Stephen Merchant, Ricky Gervais's tall, bug-eyed pal, and Christopher Walken's in it, which is a big get for a British show, I think, to have Christopher Walken in it. And we've watched 2-3 episodes. It's quite good getting into it. Then in my own time, because when I was looking on Prime for things to do, I discovered accidentally they have, I think it's all 4 seasons of Preacher, which is inspired by a comic I used to read back in the 90s called Preacher. Diverges hugely from the source material. Hugely. It's very different. Same central thing. But the specifics diverge a lot. And I've watched the first few episodes of that, and I am enjoying that so far. But I'm sure that was on Stan, and Stan is a subscription service I don't have, and Preacher was one to make me almost want to get it, but I'm not getting any more streaming services. So people say, "Is this show on Apple Plus?" No, I'm not getting that. Well, the show on Stan, I'm not getting that. But I was kind of excited to find Preacher on Prime. So I've started watching that. Nicolette, you watched Malcolm Roberts get grilled on climate change style on T-Jump's channel. He's a bloviator. Yes? So Malcolm Roberts, you mean the idiot One Nation senator in Australia? Well, I mean, he's a liar and a moron and a bloviator, as you say. He is le super garbage man, is how we could say it, I think. Justin, I still haven't watched Man in the High Castle. when I run out of stuff to watch with this Mrs. Angry, I might see if I can convince her to watch an episode of that, because that's usually what we do when I'm trying to find something new. Watch an episode of something and see if we like it, see if we think it's got legs. Dr. Gao, I think he's One Nation. The liberal Democrats are steaming piles of shit as well. They and again, you've got to say, like back in the 90s, libertarians used to actually be libertarians, actually be freedom for all type stuff, which I thought was childish, but at least had some internal integrity. A significant number of people who declare themselves to be libertarians these days are just right-wing fuckwits who don't want rules to apply to them. They're very keen on rules being applied to other people. So back in the 90s, proper libertarians used to be quite universal on that front. Dr. Abigail, but by definition, anyone in One Nation and anyone in the Liberal Democrats are fucking garbage. Like, I mean scum. And this goes far beyond, I don't like the Liberal Party or the National Party, and I think they're all fucking jerks. Anyone who's in One Nation or the Liberal Democrats is a fucking steaming pile of garbage. Like fucking vile filth. Liars, hypocrites, bigots. I doubt they'd even be any use as compost. They're too toxic. Not that I was thinking of putting any of them through a wood chipper. No, I was not thinking that at all. That's a really negative mind frame to be in, and I wouldn't want to do that. I would not want to be a negative Nelly. No siree. I don't want to do that. But yeah, I don't think you get any usable fucking compost out of them at the other end. I think spreading their remains on the ground would be like salting the ground. Just this, nothing would grow there. Nothing at all. Megaleech, I'm not surprised he was a hot pile of garbage because on top of everything, he's not smart, which also goes with people in One Nation and the Liberal Democrats, a tendency to vastly overestimate their own intelligence, and because they're in love with the idea that they're smart, it's incredibly easy to make them look stupid because they're stupid as fuck. Because I remember there was an interview with Jordan Peterson. I think it was the BBC. It was British television anyway. And Peterson fans hold it up and say, like, the woman interviewing him was terrible because she wasn't doing her job as a journalist properly. She was just being aggressive and attacking him. And look, Jordan Peterson kind of invites spirited attack because he's such a shithead. But that strategy of attacking him is not the right strategy. He's not unintelligent. Jordan Peterson is not unintelligent, but he vastly overestimates his expertise in areas where he is really quite ignorant. So the way to get him is not to attack him and try and do gotcha stuff. It's just give him enough rope. Just let him go. And he will end up saying shit that's incomprehensibly stupid because he can't fucking shut up. You let him go, he can't shut up, and he will just say something that's just freakishly stupid. And I think the thing to do with him is to say, can you explain what that means? Because he's prone to making really weird but quite incomprehensible statements, but that they feel very provocative and offensive. And if you say, that's really offensive, he goes, well, what was offensive? I was just, and he'll be a real prick about it. So, but he tries to get away without ever committing to anything and ever explaining anything. So how you get someone like Jordan Peterson is there's a technique called Socratic irony as an argument approach, which was supposedly used by Socrates, where you don't try and pretend you're smarter than the person who you're quite convinced is wrong. You run the conversation like the person who you're quite convinced is wrong is smarter than you. And you just go, like, can you explain that to me? What does that mean? What's your point when you say that? Because Jordan Peterson particularly tries to get away with just saying really provocative and inflammatory things, but then asserting he didn't mean the thing that he obviously meant. So rather than say to him, you're saying women are evil and fucked, just be like, but what does that mean? What's your point when you say, like, give him enough rope and he'll hang himself. If you play really aggressive gotcha stuff with someone like Jordan Peterson, that's less likely to work. But he has a real weakness for running off at the mouth, particularly in areas in which he is not qualified to say things. But just say like, what do you mean by that? Or what's your point when you say that? And particularly when he's attacking people he doesn't like, the left, and he'll make this big sweeping comment. And it would be very hard to resist the impulse to go, you're full of shit. That doesn't happen. Just go, just like, what do you mean by that? Or you say the left. So who says that? In what context does someone say that? Can you cite a specific person who said that? Oh, they also, can you cite a specific person who has said that thing? And because, if he stuck to his area of expertise, which is psychology, it would be very hard to get the better of him. But he is a politically motivated ideologue. He is shallow and dishonest. And the best way to get him to expose himself is not to attack him, is just to draw it out of him. Just say, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? What's your point when you say that? I don't understand. Explain that to me. And because his big thing is never explaining the shit he says, just say, can you explain that to me? Have I heard of street epistemology, Socratic examination? Not specifically. I could look it up though, because we're in let's look. We're on the internet. Street. Yep, that auto completed. Epistemology. Name given to a set of conversational techniques concerning a strongly held belief designed to promote thoughtful reflection and open-mindedness in a participant regarding that belief. The term street epistemology was coined by Peter Boghossian, popularized by Anthony Magnabosco. Never heard of him. I've heard of Peter Boghossian. The goal of street epistemology, I'm having trouble pronouncing that word, guide people into engaging their critical thinking skills and applying them to their own belief about the world. Street epistemology is about teaching the most fundamental features of critical thought. It's about helping people recognize the value of skepticism and the scientific method. Now, see, here's the thing. I don't believe that would work on Jordan Peterson because he has no interest in truly applying critical thinking, because he's an ideologically motivated hardline conservative. And I think, yeah, you just have to give Jordan Peterson enough rope to hang himself. Justin, Trump's going down. I haven't been paying attention to Trump. What's happened to Trump? There was some rumor that no lawyer would represent him, which I think is probably mostly because he wasn't paying his bills. Let's look at the news headlines. Any of the news? Oh, yeah. Peter Dutton says Morrison's ministry inquiry robot at Royal Commission witch hunt. Get fucked. Murders. Okay. Gross stuff. Don't want to talk about that. CBD workers spend just 16 hours in the city as work from home sticks. Jesus, I have not spent that much in a week in the city in a long time. I think I was on crypto. Yeah, it's all fucked, man. Daniel Johns reveals why he invited his former Silverchair bandmates to be part of his latest solo album, what he did when they declined. I want to make it clear I don't have an issue with them as people. Daniel Johns, that's unfortunately, he's someone who I somewhat respect as an artist, has some issues. And I feel like he's maybe trying to address them, which is good. Liberal MP suggests Labor also responsible for robo-debt, despite the fact Labor wasn't in power. Jesus fucking Christ. They suck so fucking much. Also love the unions finally pushing there should be sector-wide pay claims. Good on them. Let me see. Japanese police chief to resign after fatal shooting of Shinzo Abe. Biden giving $3 billion in military aid to Ukraine? Dang. I don't see anything about Trump, though. All right, I'll just put Trump in the search in the news and see what comes up. Trump spent the day since Fed searched his home. Ooh, Trump's fighting with Mitch McConnell. That's funny. Okay, Deadline.com calls Trump the de facto leader of the Republican Party. Hilarious. Said they should get rid of the most powerful elected official, minority leader, Mitch McConnell. Trump says Mitch McConnell's not an opposition leader. He's a pawn for the Democrats to get whatever they want. He's afraid of them, will not do what has to be done. New Republican leader in the Senate should be picked immediately. Fuck yeah. Eat yourselves, Republicans. Neat. Oh, shiz. Lower Decks. I saw a trailer for Lower Decks. It looks fucking cool. Okay, I will be watching whatever episodes of Lower Decks are available this weekend. And I really enjoyed episode 1 of She-Hulk. They're leaning heavily into the series. And also, it is hilarious the degree to which She-Hulk is infuriating the bros on the internet. It's fucking hilarious. And the way they have no idea they're telling on themselves is fucking hilarious to me. I'm not sure Mega Leech, but I think Lower Decks is on the main Prime thing, like not on one of the sub things. Yeah, I probably won't watch episode 2 until the week. Oh, no, I might watch it at lunchtime tomorrow. I like working from home. I like actually taking a break in the next room and watching something and my lunch break. I might watch She-Hulk at lunchtime tomorrow. Who knows? So, Justin, investigation started. Yeah, National Archives. But yeah, it's just Trump is a moron. Clearly thinks he's above the law just because he has his whole life of criminality where he has never been prosecuted to make him think he's above the law. So, yeah, to an extent, it's not his fault he thinks he's above the law because he's never actually faced any punishment. So, what are you going to do? Well, sorry, I'm thinking of making a Manhattan. I really want to enjoy my make my Manhattan. Sweet Manhattan. Oh, they do suggest some. All right. Okay, you don't really put it on. I think I'm actually going to have it on ice, which is madness. Madness. What did I watch on my lunch break today? Solar Opposites. I find that really humorous. An animated series created by one of the Rick and Morty co-creators, and I quite enjoy it. A lot of the Rick and Morty voice actors on it as well, and new Rick and Morty sometime in the next month, I think. Justin, I think the Democrats should have just gone hard and explicit in the midterms. Give us the numbers and we will enshrine abortion rights in law. They should have gone hard on that. Some of them have, but broadly, I think the top of the party, they're fucking cowards and they're cynical. I think they should have just gone on that alone. They should have gone, okay, we thought the Republicans would be reasonable and they're not. So we're just going hard on enshrine protection for abortion rights. And I think that would have swept them into power. But I don't know if they're doing that. I honestly haven't been paying a lot of attention. I feel like the Republicans have been serving up everything as a best possible chance for the Democrats in the midterms. I'm not sure they're taking advantage of it. Oh, God, that Dr. Oz guy. When you say he's going to lose, is he going to lose the primary to another Republican? Or do you think he's going to win the primary and be a Republican candidate and lose to a Democrat? Because he's a fucking pile of shit. He's a cynical, lying, scheming pile of shit. He's awful. He is just fucking awful. Oh, Dr. Abigail, talk about watching things like the Rings of Power series is coming up in a week. So I've got it mostly planned in my head. I'll probably record it in the next day or so. Maybe go live on this channel on the weekend. First pre-recorded video on this channel in, God, almost 2 years, about the Rings of Power and the way the show people have chosen to make elves and I think dwarves as well multiracial, which has upset fuckwits on the internet. The video is going to be titled, Yes, You're Racist. To basically say anyone who has a problem with the elves in particular being made multiracial in this show is some hideously awful combination of stupid and racist. Different people may be more motivated by racism. Others may be more motivated by stupidity. Dr. Abigail, I have no feelings about the Rings of Power until I see it. I refuse to make judgments ahead of time because, the internet is toxic as fuck. And the last 2 decades have shown us people forming opinions before they see something are regularly grossly wrong. And some of the dumb bullshit that got pushed about the Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings movies, which weren't perfect, but they were pretty fucking good. And some of the ridiculous bullshit that was talked about was just dumb as fuck. But my this is not going to be a particularly long video when I do it, because like, yes, anyone who's up in arms about making the elves multiracial is fucked. It is some awful combination of being stupid and racist, because yes, although Tolkien always said the elves were all fair, the concept that a race that spread over multiple continents over multiple millennia would not develop different racial or ethnic features is just fucking stupid. It does not hold up at all. And yes, that's how Tolkien did it. But again, Tolkien was racist. And in fact, that's only part of it. The fact that he said the elves were all fair. His other gross bit of racism was his creation of an irredeemably evil race, the orcs, which was just horribly influential in fantasy and science fiction in the 20th centuries and up to now. Just having an enemy who's implacably evil, whether it's orcs or whether it's the Empire in Star Wars, just this one-dimensional, implacably evil enemy is stupid and wrong. But if anyone's still not convinced that Tolkien's right, and I say this as a huge Tolkien fan, but his writing was intrinsically and explicitly racist. The races of men, like the two races of men who sided with evil, the Haradrim and the Easterlings, the two races of men who sided with evil are variously described as swarthy, brown, and black. It's like, so it's explicitly non-white people are evil. So pretending Tolkien's work wasn't intrinsically and explicitly racist is fucking stupid. And to assert that, you are either fucking stupid or a racist or fucking both. Dr. Abigail, your issues about Galadriel Warrior Princess condensing 3,000 years into a few decades, diluted in Numenorian's last run. Again, you don't know. Okay, we do know Galadriel Warrior Princess. But again, trying to make female characters more interesting than Tolkien made them is not a sin in my book. I've not read anything doing. You're saying they're condensing 3,000 years into a few decades. I have no idea if they're doing that. And think about the Numenorians' lust for immortality a few fortnights. I have no idea if they're doing that. When I'm making this video, I'm literally just going to focus on the fuckwits who are upset at the idea of making these fantasy races multiracial, because to not make these races multi-ethnic is just fucking dumb. You slightly disagree with me. Sauron recruited Southrons and Easterlings closer. No. No. But the only representation of you tell me a good guy from the Easterlings and the Southrons. Okay? Particularly in the Lord of the Rings. It's the bad humans. The bad humans were swarthy, brown, and black. That is explicit and out in the open. The bad humans were swarthy, brown, and black. Maybe, Eurasian to East Asian. They're everywhere from sort of African black through to Middle Eastern through to Eurasian, East Asian. That is explicit. That is absolutely explicit. Tolkien wrote every evil human race was non-white. And again, product of his time, la-di-da. I don't hate him or his writing. I love his writing. I'm a huge fan. But it is, at its core, it's unavoidably, explicitly racist on multiple levels. Like, you cannot gloss over just the racism that's there from top to bottom in his writing. Like I said, all those things, the L's being fair, creating an irredeemably evil race in the orcs, and having the humans who were swayed to evil being non-white. And you're saying he corrupted plenty of white. Again, not in the core stories, in particular, and again, focusing specifically on the Lord of the Rings. The focus on the Southrons and the Easterlings as the bad guys. Where were the good Southrons and Easterlings? Again, it's explicit. I feel like you're going outside of text to go, well, they weren't all corrupted, but the races of men that fell in line with evil, they were non-white. All the hero, right? There were no Southron or Easterling heroes in the Lord of the Rings. The heroes were white. They were fair. The baddies were swarthy. That's explicit and repeated in his writing. There's no wiggle room. There is no wiggle room whatsoever. His writing is racist as fuck. And what I'm saying is not subtext. It's text. It's explicit in the text. It's explicit, unmistakable, and repeated in the text. It's racist as fuck. The two blue wizards. Yes, that he could work in these. But again, talking about what he didn't write, is pretty much fucking irrelevant to what he did write. White people good, non-white people bad. That is explicit and repeated in his text. It is never contradicted in his text. It's as I said, I love Tolkien. God, don't even know how many times I read The Lord of the Rings. Dozens of times, but there's no escaping that his writing is explicitly racist. And again, not one example. Like I said, the example of the orcs, the example of the elves being fair, which makes no fucking sense, and the races of men that went with evil are all the darkies. It's just on every fucking level, he's racist as fuck. Do I skip the poems in relation to what? Again, rather than going through the arcana, and the obscure shit, let's just stick with the Lord of the Rings in particular. In fact, I think there's borderline no point in looking at anything outside of the Lord of the Rings and maybe the Silmarillion, because the Silmarillion wasn't finished when he died, and all the other grave robbing / flogging a dead horse Christopher Tolkien did in the subsequent decades. Lovecraft was explicitly and openly racist. Tolkien's racism was just the standard racism of the educated English in his time. He is racist. It's not hyperbolic. It's not hyperbolic at all. His description, the descriptions of the good guys being fair and the bad guys being dark and swarthy. And that, again, that is repeated, explicit. The backdrop, Lord, again, unfinished stuff. I'm going. You're talking about subtext and largely, definitely unfinished stuff, but the actual texts that were published, the pattern is unmistakable. The world building, the race descriptions, the interactions are racist from top to bottom. Okay, it's you can't deny it. The concept of an intrinsically evil race, the orcs, is just some sad racist shit being my enemies are evil as a race, and so nothing matters. But again, and as I said, the elf thing is frankly stupid and racist at its core. The idea that a people that spread over continents over multiple millennia wouldn't develop ethnic differences is just fucking ridiculous. So it's the thing with the elves is at best stupid, but realistically really racist again. But the great big one that you cannot avoid and you cannot talk around is the races of men that went with evil were all dark and swarthy, and the ones who were the good guys were all fair-skinned. It's like I said, as much, like I said, it keeps coming back to, I love the Lord of the Rings. I love Tolkien's writing. And I think the way I really enjoyed the way he did orcs, actually. But because the Lord of the Rings was so influential, I kind of find it hard to fault him on this, but he influenced so much that came after him, where the trope of an intrinsically and irredeemably evil race as your antagonist, that's fucking horseshit. So yeah, see, okay, again, Dr. Abigail, you're going outside of text. The text is explicit, unmistakable, and repeated. You're saying, oh, his letters and other... No, I don't know. That just does not work for me. The text is absolutely explicit and unequivocal. Darkies bad, fair-skinned people good. That is absolutely unmistakable. That is categorically, directly, repeatedly done in his characters. The bad humans are swarthy, good humans are fair-skinned. That there is no exception in the published work. There is no exception. No, it absolutely is not. It absolutely is not. It is categorically not. The text is not more than the novel. Okay? He may have had ideas, he may have had plans, but what was published is absolutely unwavering, unequivocal, racist. And hi, Matty Gretz, you've got me in a rant about a writer I really like actually being super racist. So scholars such as Femionotis, clearly anti-racist. No. I'm talking about the writing. Again, Megaleech, a lot of racists opposed Hitler. There are scholars who would categorically disagree with me. There are scholars who will say some stupid fucking shit. There are scholars who will categorically agree with me. Again, this is clearly my opinion, but I do not believe you can raise an argument that counteracts any of this. His creation of the orcs is explicitly racist. His thing of the elves being uniformly fair and whatever makes no sense and has creepy white supremacist undertones. But his thing with the Southrons and the Easterlings is explicitly, unmistakably, unforgivably racist. There is no two ways about it. No two fucking ways about it. That, again, and I think with Tolkien, to a large extent, that was unconscious racism. Like, I again, because I've read his letters, I've read his biography. I feel like if you were able to get him and go, dude, this is racist as fuck, he would be, I feel like he would be affronted. And he would say, no. That's the rule, dude. That's not what I was doing. And I was going, but do you not, whether it was unconscious or not, do you not see how your biases is? You've gone in the races of men, fair-skinned good, swarthy bad. You have done that with an absolute complete delineation. Fair-skinned good, swarthy bad. And you can argue, maybe there were some fair-skinned ones seduced by Sauron as well. But there are no swarthy people on the good side. The swarthy people are universally, racially bad in the text. I think you can argue. Well, like I said, I mean, it's not like I've been subtle about my view. The York thing was convenient from a plot device point of view. Ended up perpetuating that idea of an evil race, which is terrible. The elf thing's just kind of dumb with creepy white supremacist undertones, which again, I feel like Tolkien would go, nope, that's not what I was doing. What the fuck? Why do you think that? And so I can go along with that's unconscious. I could even go along with the split on the Southrons, Easterlings, and the fair-skinned good guys. I could even go with that was unconscious racism on his part. But I mean, it's a huge fucking neon sign. It's not subtle. It isn't ambiguous. There's no crossover. There's a big fucking neon sign that says all the evil races of men are swarthy. It is absolutely unmistakable. Dr. Trevor, you're going to get home and find references to back up your own. Again, you're going how it feels, and I actually I don't want to actually dictate what you're doing. How it feels is you're going through extraneous stuff. You're saying his letters and whatnot. I'm going through the published books, and I would just barely let the Silmarillion squeak in. Nothing beyond that, because like they were literally, what was the one that was published 10 years later? Unfinished Tales. It's very unfinished. And the ones beyond that were definitely Christopher Tolkien just fucking milking it. It's like, oh, look, I found some stuff that there's some scribbled notes on a fucking coaster. I think I'll turn that into a whole book. Sorry, I'm really cynical about Christopher. I know some people think Christopher Tolkien's a hero. I'm actually really cynical about Christopher Tolkien. But yeah, I'm not really willing to go outside the stuff that was published while he was alive. I'll let the Silmarillion squeak in. But yeah, again, it's just deeply fucking racist, and on so many levels. And there's no level on which it isn't racist. You know, Aragorn doesn't have a black best friend. You know, but again, because like I've read a lot of the backstory of Tolkien, I think, you know, if he were alive, if you go back in time to when he was alive and go, yo, bro, racist much? I feel like he would have been quite affronted and said, "I am not pushing a racist. Why are you saying this is racist? I'm not pushing a racist message here." And I feel like he would come up with justifications, and he would say, "No, it's not racist because of this and the other." And I'm just like, "Yeah, but bro, what was published? What was published? Um, just stuff that is basically explicitly and unavoidably racist." Um, so yeah, I guess I don't feel like going to any lengths at all to excuse the racism. Dr. Abiy, I don't understand why we wouldn't consider his background. How does his background justify stories that are okay? He's a product of his time, yes, and in the terms of stuff that was written in his time, it's not explicitly racist. And as you pointed out, Lovecraft, yes, Lovecraft was basically a Nazi. Lovecraft was horrifically racist, horrifically, openly, demonically racist, and Tolkien wasn't. But and as I said, I think Tolkien, it would be affronted if you were able to go back in time and say, "Dude, shit you wrote is just like super fucking racist." Because I feel quite confidently he would argue, "I am not trying to make racist points in here. I was not trying to make racist." But again, product of his time and the subconscious racism. But Jesus Christ, the pattern is unmistakable, and it does not fucking change. It doesn't change. Elves, good, pure, fair. Orcs, evil, dark, implacable. The best of men, clear, fair. Bad men, dark and swarthy. And Ray's, yeah, and this is what I come back to. I fucking love Tolkien's writing. I really do. I've read it so many times. But yeah, it's just the pattern of racism in Lord of the Rings is absolutely consistent, never varies. There's no gray. There is no gray whatsoever. Good guys, fair, noble, beautiful. Bad guys, dark, swarthy, twisted, evil. It never changes. It never changes. There's no gray area. There's no deviation. The entire structure of it is irredeemably racist. Background of his works. I don't get that that's coming into it at all, because it's. I get where you're coming from, and from the stuff I've read, a lot of the stuff he wrote, he was disappointed England didn't have wonderful myths like Europe did, and he was trying to create an English myth, but he created a world, an entire world, and elements of it were very sure. And I know you don't have any problem with dark-skinned elves. That never occurred to me that you'd have a problem with that. That was never part of this discussion. Yeah, and it's unfortunate that the Lord of the Rings is basically the most influential work of the 20th century. Again, I love it, but it's dispiriting how much the less imaginative parts of it were so influential. And again, the good race and the evil race. Good is fair, evil is dark. It just permeated fantasy and science fiction. Not all fantasy, not all science fiction, but just a shit ton of fantasy and science fiction where the foe is an implacable, unchangeable evil that must be vanquished, and the heroes are unerringly noble and good. It's absolutely super shallow stuff. But what are you going to do? I mean, I feel like he had no idea. I like that, Dr. Abigail, in D&D games, kill that trope in its infancy like baby Hitler. Oh, God, Jesus Christ, is Tarzan racist? I've never, look, okay, I need to be honest and say I've never read any of the Rice Burroughs books. So if you're saying, is the source material for Tarzan racist? Kind of feels like it probably is, but if I was being completely honest, I've not read the source material, and so I'm not comfortable making a judgment. I don't take any of the Tarzan movies seriously, so yeah, I just don't feel like come up with any deep and meaningful judgment on Tarzan because I don't take it seriously. But yes. So what's the time? 9:30. Jesus. Now I'm definitely going to make a Manhattan with my Bakery Hill. I stopped drinking half an hour ago. I have another drink. And my cocktail snobby stuff is reacting a bit at what I'm about to do, but I'm going to do it anyway. Because I can't be bothered fucking around. Some sweet vermouth from Morgan's Distillery up near Healesville. If you're talking about, was that you're talking about the animated Tarzan? I don't know, the Disney one. I don't think I went to the cinema to watch that. Might have watched it on disc. Gonna make Manhattan. That is a dark, sweet vermouth. Do-do-do-do. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I didn't take him to see the Tarzan movie in the cinemas. Maybe watched it at home. Don't remember it being a big one of ours. We were into what was the one with the guys going after the Road to El Dorado? I really like the Road to El Dorado. I'm sure someone can point out how that was racist. But I liked it. I like the Road to El Dorado. And the reason I thought of that is because I think didn't Elton John did the music for Tarzan, and he also did the music for the Road to El Dorado. And one of my favorite animated films from that period was The Iron Giant. Oh my God, I still have trouble thinking about the closing bit of The Iron Giant without tearing up. That was just incredible. There's a great script in that movie. It's beautifully structured with a callback at the end. I go, you stay, no following, and Superman. I was just like, fucking hell. This is so emotionally intense for an animated kids movie. Safa, I did not know there's a town called El Dorado in Victoria. That is news to me. Is that a gold mining town? Seems like a name you'd give a gold mining town. I think I had a Facebook ad for go a weekend away to Walhalla, which I've actually done in the past with Mrs. Angry, one of our little mini holidays. I was at a cabin near Walhalla, which is a gold mining place up near Ballarat, but in higher country than Ballarat. You can have a tour of the old gold, which we did. We did have a tour of the old gold mine. I mean, this is meant to have a dash of bitters in it. So El Dorado's close to Wangaratta. There you go. stirring my cocktail a little bit more. Megaleech, all the sapient robots get you. Iron Giant. I do like Wall-E. I do like Baymax. Oh my god, Big Hero 5. That's a pretty fucking intense movie too. With the characters dying in it. Jesus, no, Big Hero 5 is a pretty intense movie. I haven't watched there's a Baymax series on Disney Plus, which has apparently super infuriated the right-wing dickheads being woke because Baymax is doing healthcare for a young girl and she has her first period, so Baymax goes to the supermarket to get menstrual products. Raise. Oh, yeah, no, it's Star Wars. The Empire are the Nazis. The Empire are definitely the Nazis in Star Wars. And no, Safa, I am not good at all at I don't know any constellations. Oh, that's interesting, Megaleech. People writing those robots autism coded. There you go. You think the fact people relate to the robots can be a sign? Maybe. Yeah. I just think the Iron Giant is so well scripted. It's fucking beautiful. Oh, just the bit where the giant closes his eyes and goes, Superman is just fuck. So intense. Okay. Again, this is not terrible. Still not working. I'm determined to find a cocktail that my most expensive whiskey goes really well in. Of course, mad whiskey nerds are being, why are you doing that? And it's not bad. It's absolutely not bad straight. I'm determined to get something that's just like, yeah, man, that's perfect. That's it. Oh, yeah, Safa, no light pollution. The bush, the night sky is incredible. Yeah, no. Megaleech, that's the thing. It's not just that. It's like my various neurodivergent friends who post something about ADHD life or autism life, and they post something online with the audio, and I like laughing. Hashtag relatable. Wait, hang on. What? Ugh. So yeah. It's an open question. Why do I find that sort of humor and that sort of characterization so relatable? Open question. You've just watched Squid Game. I enjoyed Squid Game, Rays. I mean, it's weirdly become one of, and I say weirdly because it's not English language, it's become one of Netflix's biggest ever series. Again, Jesus, the way, the indictment of the fuckery of late stage capitalism in that, the fact that people, when really presented with, okay, do you really want to go back to your shit life? Or go back to this thing that you now know stands a very good chance of killing you, but you may end up with this huge amount of money. What's it going to be? Stuck in your shit life or risk your life for a tiny chance? The psychology of Squid Game really got me. So if you had a lady doing a speech about autism, that was Emma Rusicano, wasn't it? I haven't watched that. I've just seen a bunch of people reacting online about Emma Rusicano's speech. I follow her on Twitter because I think she's an interesting writer. Her speech at the press club was very well received by a lot of people. Mr. Beast on YouTube did his version of Squid Game. Obviously, he couldn't kill anyone, But yeah, the person who won, they didn't win 4.5 million. They won a bit though. So yeah, anyone else doing an actual show, they're one step behind Mr. Beast, unless it's Mr. Beast doing it, broadcast TV. But I have to admit, the bleakness of Squid Game appealed to me. The fact that it was. Oh God, did I call? Was it Big Hero 6? And I was saying Big Hero 5. Sorry, it's a couple of years since I watched it, so I forgot the number. Oh well, I got the number wrong. Say Livy. Risk your life and morals. You'll be willing to do the ones love. Oh yeah, those couple of really intense moral moments in Squid Game where it's like really amoral people just doing fucked things, and you go, ooh, but then people with morals still doing pretty awful things, and it's like, oh. So Big H watching the Big Hero 6 series. Don't like the animation style. Okay. Raise, it's Netflix doing the Squid Games casting now. I wonder if they're doing it with Mr. Beast. Who knows? He's huge. Like it's just incredible. I'm so old school YouTuber. I remember when Fred was the first channel that got 1 million subscribers. And that seemed impossible at the time. And it seemed impossible that anyone would ever beat him. And like Mr. Beast has got 25 million. What's this? Mr. Beast, real-time subscriber count. Yeah, okay, that was an old thing. Mr. Beast has over 100 million subscribers. And his videos get minimum tens of millions of views. It's fucking wild. Mega Leech. Okay, animation style. You know what one I like is on Netflix, the League of Legends inspired series. I really like the animation style in that. Oh God, yes, Raise the messaging system on YouTube. Jesus, so weird. Oh yes, so yeah, no, so, okay, Safa, it's your fault. You haven't watched the most viewed Netflix thing yet. But no spoiler. But like I said, just people making moral choices, and yeah, some of the characters are amoral, verging on evil. And the other ones are very moral, but you get all of them just making terrible choices. But yes, kind of like the central message is late stage capitalism is so fucked and makes so many people's lives so shit that it's conceivable that people would risk almost certain death for the tiny chance of winning enough money to get them out of the shit. Mr. Chungus. I'm not big. I was playing Borderlands 3. So I'm not exactly cutting edge with video games, but I play them sometimes. Yeah, sorry, Miguelich. That is the name of the anime series, Arcane. I actually like the story and the voice acting in Arcane. I quite like the animation style in it too. Oh, Safa, Soviet communism was fucking terrible, man. Almost feel like it's more honest than late stage capitalism, though. But the current structure with capitalism is unsupportable and cannot continue. Never in history has this level of wealth disparity existed without leading to a revolution. We are in a world where the people who are getting the benefit of the wealth disparity could put themselves in check and say, okay, this is no longer reasonable, we need to do things. Or they could pretend they're outside of history. Because history says, unavoidably, this level of wealth inequality results in violent revolution, which I think is a bad idea. I think, okay, another controversial take on the angry stream, violent revolution, bad option. But history tells us if a powerful minority exploit a system so they hurt the vast majority, eventually there's a violent reaction to that. No, Safa, Morrison's not a dictator. Morrison is just a fucking piece of shit. Should capitalism be restrained on social? Look, as I've said before, in simple terms, how I think the world should work is no one should be getting wealthy by cruel exploitation of other people. So, all the, the oligarchs, the billionaire class, they should, let's imprison them. I was going to say freeze their wealth. No, actually fucking imprison them. Imprison them until everybody involved in the supply chain that creates their wealth is properly compensated. No one should be living in poverty. Everyone should have a decent life. I absolutely, unequivocally think 1 million people having a good life is immeasurably more important than Elon Musk having billions. You should take literally everything from Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates, if that's what it takes to have everyone having a decent life. It is literally fucking criminal for these people to be benefiting to that scale from cruel exploitation of so many people. Like I have trouble understanding that that's regarded as a controversial thing to say. A tiny minority of people should not be able to amass obscene levels of wealth and power at the expense of millions, tens of millions of people who suffer to actually create that wealth. If I was, like, let's just say supreme overlord, forget terms like prime minister, president, supreme overlord of Earth, there would be no arbitrary upper limit on how rich someone could get. It's just that you could not generate wealth based on the exploitation of someone else. So there's two parts to it. You can't exploit people to generate your wealth. Everyone involved in the nuts and bolts generation of that wealth needs to be properly compensated. And you also can't exploit the environment to create your wealth. It's like, if what you are doing to create your wealth is going to cause problems down the line with pollution, climate change, you need to pay for the solution as well. You cannot amass wealth before you have paid the full cost of the development of that wealth. So in that scenario, if someone was actually a super genius who could develop a system and a product and a service that is so good, they could properly compensate everyone involved in the creation of it, and they could also account for all the extended costs in terms of pollution, etc., and cover all of that and still make billions of dollars, you know what? They can have the billions of dollars. They just cannot have it if it involves exploiting people or exploiting the environment. They need to cover the real costs of the generation of that wealth. At the moment, it is a criminal scam. It is an absolute criminal scam. Sorry, again, very niche Australian political humour, Miguelich. I love it. World Health Organization warns of pandemic after 5 new variants of Scott Morrison detected. Barnaby Joyce secretly took up home affairs. He wasn't even, actually, he's not even that secret. Barnaby Joyce fucking one of his staffers while trotting out his family, saying, "We can't allow gay marriage because it undermines traditional families like mine," while he's fucking a staffer. Jesus Christ, he's scum. Again, if someone wanted to push a puritanical religious thing and were absolutely true to it, I'd be like, whatever. But the fact that it appears the overwhelming majority of these people pushing this puritanical religious thing don't meet their own standards. It's just, oh my God. My God, my God, my God. It's kind of like, what's the phrase I saw? Every conservative accusation is a confession. There's it's a neat little bit of wordplay, but there is an overwhelming amount of evidence to support that's just literally how it is. Every time a conservative accuses someone else of something, it's like it turns out that it's something that they're doing. It's like absolutely fucking surreal. Again, okay, Safa, even if Joyce was single, I would have a problem with him banging a staffer and then making sure that staffer got a cushy government-paid job. That's corruption. What is absolutely inexcusable and just morally reprehensible is he chose to trot his family out as an argument against a marriage equality, saying you can't let gay people get marriage. It's undermining the institution of marriage for families like mine. While at the time fucking a staffer, he's just reprehensible. Dr. Abigail, given you're an ordained minister, same-sex marriage no way ruins the sanctity of marriage. That's true. It's Barnaby Joyce has done a lot more damage to traditional values than gay marriage has. Safa, if Barnaby Joyce is single, fucking someone who's not a staffer, I could not give a shit. Barnaby Joyce was single, he could be fucking 20 people who aren't his staffer, and I don't give a shit. But if Barnaby Joyce is fucking a staffer, that's inexcusable whether he's single or married. But Barnaby Joyce trotting out his family saying, you can't allow gay marriage because it'll hurt my family, while he's fucking a staffer. That guy is reprehensible scum. There is no saving him. He is just fucking garbage. Shock. Scott Morrison relieves he was secretly Anthony Albanese. Oh, no, he doesn't have the charisma or intelligence to be Anthony Albanese. Oh, that's a good one. Allegations of Scott Morrison being two-faced turn out to be an understatement. When are we legalizing sex with ducks? Asking for... Oh, God. Was it Abigail, was it one of your friends who posted that? Because there are all these memes about steal their look. And there was a very dapper-looking duck. And it was like saying how to steal the duck's look. And there was a guy standing there. And there was like, this tuxedo and how much it would cost. And one of the things to steal the duck's look was a corkscrew. And the person who posted it said, if you know, you know. It's a reference to a duck penis. Ducks actually have these super weird corkscrew penis, male ducks, because female ducks, in an attempt to control which ducks can impregnate them, have a very labyrinthine vagina. So, ducks, the physiology of ducks, very strange. Very, very strange. Oh. All right. Where are you finding all these mileage? Immigrants stealing your job, or is it Scott Morrison? I always loved there was a web comic of like an oligarch that looks a lot like Rupert Murdoch. When it starts off, there's this capitalist, a worker, like a white worker, and then a dark-skinned worker, and there's a pile of like 10 cookies in the middle, and the Rupert Murdoch looking guy grabs 9 of them and hoards them and pushes the one cookie towards the white guy and then says, "Careful, that foreigner's trying to steal your cookie." It's like, yep. Dr. Abigail, duck anatomy is weirder. That's hilarious. Yeah, ducks are pretty fucking weird. So if you're living next to ducks and they're very loud at night, that's rude. Why are they loud at night? They're just rude. The ducks are being rude. Good call, Dr. Abigail. Ask the ducks. Ask the ducks what's going on. Just having a little bit of water. Brush my teeth before going to bed. I got this vermouth taste in them. I'm determined to find a way to drink the Bakery Hill. Maybe, you know what? I might, tomorrow night, I might just try it with a big fucking chunk of ice. And maybe is it slightly, because it's really like 58% alcohol. Maybe I need to quieten it down a bit. Actually, that's a good call, Dr. Abigail. They might be quacking at foxes. Ducks do quack as an alarm thing. So they might be saying, look out, there's a fucking fox. It's a fucking fox. Look out. We don't want a fox. That's bad. That's bad stuff right there. Oh, Mimsy, are you going to come up and say goodnight to everyone? What are you doing? Because I'm about... Yeah, it's 10 o'clock. I might go to bed. What's this? The coalition claimed they created 1.9 million jobs. Now, have to take into account Scott Morrison was a lot of them. Yeah, it's... Oof. Mimsy, where are you? Meow. No, she came in and went over there, and I don't know where she is now. Oh, okay, so Nettie might get home during the stream tomorrow night. We'll see. I want, might do the big run. We'll see how I go. We'll see if I can survive for a big run tomorrow. I'm also, seriously, I'm going to research whiskey cocktails tomorrow. Come up with a whiskey cocktail that sounds good. Determined to find the best way to enjoy my Bakery Hill whiskey. Alrighty, so I'm going to go to bed. Mimsy, are you going to come here and say hello or not? Meow. No? She's not. She's got a little aluminium tray that, had some food in. One point we put little bits there. And I think she's hoping this. Wait a second. What is she doing? What is she doing? Are you there? Oh, are you in the bin, you fucking shit? No, you're not allowed in the bin. Come on. Come here. Just being a shithead getting in the bin. I don't like that. Come up here. Come on. I want you to say goodnight to everyone before I go to bed. No? Yes? Maybe? Yes? No? Maybe? I don't know. Can you repeat the question? Come here. Meow. What are you doing? Meow. Come up here and say hello. Come on. What you doing, you little weirdo? I have two such weird cats. They're weird in different ways, but they're both weird. No, she's fucking off. She thinks I've dropped something. I haven't. I haven't dropped any food on the floor, okay? Come on, come up here. Oh, she's going to come up. Come on. All right. Mimsy's come up to say goodnight to you all. Night, night. Meow. Meow. So we'll wave goodnight. We'll see if we can do a party night tomorrow night. All right, come on. Come on. You can come into the bedroom with me. So you'll take care. I'll see you tomorrow night. And we'll talk about if I'm just going to cut right back next week. So it's nice that Mimsy got to say hello to... Oh, you're going to come up again. No, we'll go into bed, okay? We'll go into bed. I'm going to bed. All right. See you fine people another time. I will say bye for now. Bye. I have no idea if I'm still here or not. I clicked end broadcast and the thing's just spinning.